Welcome to More Than Miles, the podcast where we use storytelling and expert interviews to widen the lens on what it means to be a happy and healthy endurance athlete. We believe that athletes are so much more than their body, sport, and training miles. I'm Dr. Kate Mihevik-Edwards.
And I'm Dr. Casey Sinders. We are endurance athletes, physical therapists, and huge coffee addicts. We spend most of our time treating, educating, and working with endurance athletes. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Now let's get to the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to More Than Miles. And we are in our second season, which we're super excited about. And so today, Casey and I are just going to talk a little bit about what we've learned podcasting, which is a lot.
A lot.
It's actually incredible. I had no idea what it took to be a podcaster.
Me neither.
And then we're also going to talk about what to look out for in season 2. We have a lot of really cool things coming up. And, this probably won't be a long one, but we wanted to give our audience a little bit of insight into what the heck is happening around here.
Yeah, because we know that we're super exciting and fun people. So we know you guys are interested in us and our lives. So,
boy, I don't know if that's true, Case, but
I'm dreaming over here. Just let me live in my dream world.
That's all right.
So yeah, I thought it'd be really fun to talk about what we learned, because I think we learned a lot about podcasting itself. I think we learned a lot about ourselves. I think we learned a lot about our relationship as a collaborative team here, which has all been super beneficial, I think, for not only the podcast, but for everything beyond. I have to say, I consider myself a podcast connoisseur. So I've been listening to podcasts for a long time. Don't make fun of me for using the word connoisseur.
I just totally was. I was laughing.
You did. I would listen to podcasts and I would get excited about the crafting of the conversation and how good the hosts were. And I was really thinking about the mechanics behind the podcast in addition to the actual content of the podcast. And I was like, I would be good at that. And guess what? It is way harder than I thought it would be. It's actually really hard. It's definitely awkward in the beginning, and learning how to speak in a way that people can understand you through their headphones is much harder than I thought. Interviewing people is a lot harder than I thought it would be, but it has been every bit as fun and fulfilling as I thought it would be. So totally worth the difficulty and awkwardness.
Yeah, we've obviously learned a lot. We're working better together. The technological side is being handled mostly by Barry, but we've also mastered the Zoom interviews. And also when we're together in the same location, we have some really cool gadgets that a friend of mine gave us.
When we remember how to use them.
Okay, you didn't have to say that on the podcast.
Yes, I did. Yes,
okay, fine. Well, yes, we have some really cool equipment. And thank God my friend Jen let me videotape her as she explained how to use it. We have to watch the videos more than once. Come on, we're healthcare providers. We're in medicine.
Yeah, we don't know how to do these things. Like, this is completely off the map for us.
All right, so let's talk about season 2.
Yeah, so we are really excited about season 2 because we learned so much. And so we were like, okay, like we have a better handle on the little things. So now we're ready to dream a little bit bigger, right? So we're really excited to kind of expand our network. We're talking to some really, really cool people. And we've already courted 2 of those as of this recording. And I can say with full confidence, they are amazing conversations.
We were lucky. We had some incredible conversations in season 1, but we also did it in a little bit of a comfort way. Everybody that we talked to in season 1, we already knew. So those conversations were really easy, and they were all people within our network already. This time we are talking to people we don't really know very well. And they're people that, probably some of them have a big Instagram following, and some of them are famous, or I don't know if famous is the word, but like really
influential,
well-known,
right?
Influential. Yeah. So we're really excited to be able to talk to these people and what we're going to be doing. And the idea of season 2 is really just bringing together resources for the endurance community that will optimize and prioritize health. And when we do that, we ultimately think that leads to increased performance and joy in the sport. And so when we can be this place, their hub that brings all these people together, that's really exciting.
The other thing I really hope that people get out of the podcast is not only great information, but it's not an instructional podcast, right? Like, it's not only information, it's leading you to people who can help you on this journey. This is what I talk to people a lot as a physical therapist and with my patients, that sure, you can Google exercises and all those things. And maybe they're the right exercises. They can be the perfect exercises for what you have going on. But to help someone with that process and help with the plan and to monitor and adjust as needed, I think is huge. And so I'm always a fan of getting someone to help you with something you're struggling with, right? And so I hope that by bringing people in who do these things on a daily basis, people listening be like, hey, like I would benefit from something like that. And that's my other hope for the podcast in season 2.
Yeah. And I think that really we are bringing in experts. Like you said, they're experts in their field. They're experts in the content that we're talking about. And, when you can bring an expert in, it really cuts through all the other stuff. And you can get the answers to your questions that you really want. And the answers are more clear. And I've found also, and I'm thinking of one of the interviews that we already did, I found that experts can kind of take a step back and look at a patient or a person or a runner or athlete as a whole person instead of just this little piece. And they think about mindset. They think about, nutrition or PT exercises or whatever. It's like they may be a physical therapist or they may be a nutritionist or a doctor, physician, but they're able to step outside of that little world and look at the big picture. And I think that's really incredible and so helpful to people.
Yeah, because we, as providers, we can only look through the lens that we've been taught to look through. So we have to know what that is for us and then who can help us with the other stuff, because we realize that we can't do it alone a lot of the times. And usually it's not just one thing that would benefit someone. And I think experts are able to put those pieces together so their patient, client, whoever it may be, can really get, what they need to be successful and happy and obviously find joy in what they're doing.
Yeah. And then the other thing that we're doing on this podcast is we're also hearing inspirational stories. And so we actually have a Paralympic athlete who medaled this year who's going to be on our show. We also have former athletes who competed in trials or the Olympics. And that's really cool. Like we get to hear their running stories and hear like how it came together for them and what they learned.
Because I think that the running story is one of my favorite parts of every episode. I really love hearing because it's always different. There's no one who has like a typical entry or even progression of running. Just the episode we recorded last night, I really identified with, she said, I ran a 10K at the pace that I would need to run at a marathon one day to qualify for the Olympic trials. And I told my coach, like, no way, I can't do that. And that's exactly how I feel in my training right now. And the fact that she did it makes me feel a little bit inspired. So I'm hoping that our listeners get that same feeling out of that too.
Yeah, that's really cool. So anyway, I think that basically puts it all together, right? What our goals are for the season, kind of what we learned, and also what's up and coming. And I really hope people get excited because this is going to be a great season.
It's going to be really good. So tune in.
Tune in and cheers. I'm drinking my coffee. Cheers.
I'm drinking water because I already drank my coffee.
Oh, loser. I'm just kidding. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that it resonated with you and that you learned something. If you enjoyed this podcast, please rate and leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps increase our visibility within the platform so that more awesome people like you can find us.
If you'd like to support us further, pretty please, you can visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/morethanmiles. That's www.patreon.com/morethanmiles. Or for a few dollars, you can help the show grow and keep going, as well as receive exclusive perks like monthly Q&As with us. Until next time, remember to run the mile you're in, and that training is so much more than miles.